recognition for Prime Minister Narendra Modi and India continues to soar. This as today an image of Prime Minister Narendra Modi reading the headlines in a prominent South African newspaper emerged. Remember, Prime Minister is in South Africa for the BRICS Summit. The headline of that article said, "India's Modi out of this world." That was the headline in the newspaper, The Star. Times Now has spoken to the man behind this headline. Listen in. In fact, we now have the journalist Sifiso Mahlangu joining us. He is the one who wrote that Modi is out of the world article. Sifiso, we've seen Prime Minister standing next to the Brazilian Prime Minister, showing him a newspaper clipping that reads, "India's Modi is out of the world." This article has been authored by you. What prompted this?
Well, good morning. We're really excited about the BRICS Summit that is happening in Johannesburg. Certainly, our newspaper, the Star, has covered this extensively, from the BRICS Media Forum to the BRICS Summit. And we recognize that the people of India, the people of China, the people of Russia, are our friends. They are our historic friends. They were never our enemies. They didn't colonize us. And this is the global South. And so many South Africans were very excited about having President Modi in South Africa. We've got a very large Indian population in South Africa. In fact, we've got the biggest Indian population outside of India, which is in South Africa, in Durban. So we're really happy about that. It was an exciting 3-4 days. President Modi's visit to South Africa, I think, was significant for him in that there was a moon landing by India, which has been the furthest landing right over the moon, as the headline says, which was a real mark for India. And that, of course, is celebrated throughout the world. And so it was really interesting that, to get 2 and 3 presidents reading our newspaper and showing each other this newspaper. It does speak of the leadership of India, the leadership of President Modi. It's interesting that this has just happened in line with BRICS. A lot of things have been happening this week in Russia and China, and in India, incidentally, in the work of BRICS. But for us, for South Africa, it was to recognize this momentous, out of this world achievement by India.
So how have the leaders from the BRICS community been reacting to this Chandrayaan 3 mission success?
The BRICS environment is very exciting in that it's about collaboration. So it's like brother or sister countries getting together to have discussions about how to grow what we now define as the global South. The global South is, of course, not an anti-West or an anti-NATO meeting. I was listening to some Western media last night where they referred to this as a meeting against the US or NATO. I think that's maybe ill-conceived. This is not an anti-NATO meeting. I'm part of the BRICS Summit myself. This is a meeting about ourselves. It's about the global South. It's about discussions about ourselves by ourselves. And when brothers meet, of course, when brothers have conversations, it shouldn't be that we're having an anti-NATO or an anti-America discussion. The interesting part of this BRICS meeting in South African soil is that, of course, it coincides with the war in Ukraine. This is the first gathering in many, many years because of the COVID-19 pandemic, but it's also because of the Ukraine war, or what others define as the NATO war that is playing out in Ukraine soil.
You speak of the Global South, and the Prime Minister has also mentioned it. He's been called the leader of the Global South, the voice of the Global South by many as well. And as we achieve the feat of becoming the first nation to land on the South Pole of the moon, does it also give more hope to the rest of the world? Like the Prime Minister put it, India's win is the world's win as well.
There's certainly many examples for the world to learn from India in this. You know, the airspace and the astrology space is a big thing. Astronomy is a huge thing. The astrology space also, the flight space and the design and the scientific mechanisms, the engineering that went into this was world class, of course, and so India is commended for that. You could see the pictures of how people were relating to our paper. President Lula was very excited to see the paper. You know, you saw the Russians pick it up and look at it. So it was really exciting. The Chinese made a comment about it also. We were made aware yesterday. You saw a statement from Kremlin congratulating India, from the US congratulating India. And so, of course, this is out of this world, you know. It sets a new standard for this for this exploration. This is the furthest point that anybody or any country has ever been. What we do hope for is that those skills will be harnessed and given to the world. This, of course, iconic moment for us shouldn't just be India's moment to shine. It should also be the moment of the global South, right? The whole idea of BRICS is that whatever works must be shared. And this is one of those things that works. The new BRICS expansion project, was discussing how we can all partner together and make it bigger for countries that are aligned and alike in thinking. And so, the space project is one of those things. Science and technology and innovation and engineering is one of the things that BRICS must spread across the BRICS community. And India has a specific role to play in that.
Thank you, Sifiso, for joining us with your insights on that.